Today we're going to be talking about the last paper in our Humanities 115 class, and that is the Capstone, Paper 3. And it's the capstone because it's a culmination of everything you've learned for the semester. It's one way of getting at it. I don't do a final exam, like a cumulative exam for the class, but this kind of stands in its place. So it's a 10% paper, just like all the others, two homework pieces, and then the 10% final draft. So I'm going to walk through some things for you. You have 10 scenarios to choose from. The first thing you're going to do is a proposal, and it's kind of it's not a very formal proposal. There's not, this big long list of things you got to do. Basically, which scenario did you pick? Why did you choose it? What's your first thought? If you had to give an answer to what do you do with this, how do you buy a car? How do you prepare for an interview? What would you do if you were the first person on the scene of an accident or a crime? Those kinds of things. So, what's your first thought? Okay, and then a list of sources or types of sources you might look at to really figure things out. Okay, you have to use and cite at least 3 sources in your paper. So this is not just, oh, I'm going to do the first on scene one because I've been a paramedic for 10 years and I can just write this out in my head. All of that could be true. That's not what the assignment's asking you to do. So make sure it's something that you can write about, but also that you can do the research. Okay. And then the rough draft needs to have the citations and works cited page or references page, and then the final draft is published. Okay. I will give you feedback on both sections here and then the final draft. Okay. Remember, for the capstone, use your critical thinking skills. Okay. It's not random, and it's not just write whatever you want. Okay. I want you to show me what you've learned in the course via figuring out the scenario. Okay. Use all you know about the issue. Okay. Whatever the issue you choose. And then use some good credible sources. Okay. So a lot of this can come from your own personal experience. So I don't mind you using first person. Not a big deal. But make sure that you follow the directions. And this is something I say in a lot of things. Follow the directions. Okay. Don't assume that you know what you're supposed to do until you've read the directions. Okay. So this particular ta-da is no less than 3 pages. A title or reference page does not contribute to the page count. Use APA or MLA depending on the nature of the research done for the paper. Cite at least 3 sources from your research. Okay. Write in first person, immerse yourself in the arguments, and address your writing to a layperson, not your instructor. Well, I'm going to be reading it, but write it as if you're writing this to a friend. So your friend has to buy a new car. So what would you tell them? How would you help them make their decision, figure things out? Okay. And so the discovery proposal is a scenario from the list, and then make a list of types of sources. Your analysis and resolution are both. So what do you need to do? What's your order of operations? What's your order of how to fix this, or how to at least to address it? Okay. I don't have, this is, okay, the capstone is something that is a common assignment for all of the folks who teach and take Humanities 115. Everybody has to do this. And so this is the same information that is given to the other classes, and we want you to do your best work from here. Okay, this is one of the things that gets looked at after the fact by the folks who are trying to figure out if we're actually teaching what we're teaching. Okay, and you're learning what you're supposed to learn. So this particular paper is useful in a lot of ways because the 10 scenarios are very different from each other, but they all take a level of critical thinking that your everyday person could do, But you, because you've had the course for the whole time and you've been studying critical thinking and how to take things apart and put them back together, um, this is going to be this could be a very good resource for you. Okay, so we all hope to go and get a lucrative job. Well, there's one for how do you prepare for an interview. Um, Most folks, have to buy a car and do all that. Okay, a couple other ones that are on here as far as scenarios go. Um, Try to interpret and react to an angry friend's needs. Choosing a friend or partner, your manager at work, attempting to mediate, conflict and things. What happens if you or your pet are diagnosed with cancer? And what do you go through to figure that out? Um, Let me on that one, if you or your pet has had cancer, and I am so sorry for what you had to go through, um, be careful about this, about choosing this one. On one hand, you have experience and ideas and information that other people don't. So that makes it better and easier to write about. But we all know cancer and any big medical diagnosis is a lot to deal with emotionally. So remember that you're going to get a grade on this. So you don't want to pour your heart into something because it's this huge topic that you're, very invested in and get a C. Okay, so keep that in mind. Dealing with fake news, the politics of energy and environment, a job application for an interview, first person at the scene of an accident or crime, and dealing with an unruly customer. That whole the customer is always right stuff. So this paper can take a lot of different formats. Okay, again, it has to be at least 3 pages. But those 3 pages can be analysis heavy, can be evidence heavy, can be, step by step heavy, whatever it takes to fully answer the question, okay? Fully deal with the scenario. So 3 pages at least. So you have kind of an outline here. You know that I'm looking for um, descriptive and, a good level of detail for this. Again, 3 pages. So you don't have a lot of direction here. Read that first page very carefully. Go through the scenarios very carefully, and then choose something and see what happens. Okay. Um, it's a very good assignment from a teacher perspective, um, because there's so much you can write about. I'm not going to get 20 cookie cutter papers, right? Even if everybody chose, okay, I'm going to do the easy one. I don't know that it's all that easy really, but I'm going to do how do you buy a car? I'm going to look at Kelly Blue Book. Everybody could have that particular topic, and because you're different people with different worldviews, very different papers. Okay, so it's great because I get to read a lot of fun stuff and I get to learn a lot. So do what you can with that. Let me know if you have questions. You know how to get a hold of me. You have my email.